Hello, everyone. In this video, I hope to go over everything regarding the AI components that HighLevel has currently in their platform. Now, this doesn't just include the AI employee, which you may have already heard of. That has been out for a while, but it also includes some of the newer features that have been released since AI employee. Now, before I get started, I really would like to take you on a quick history of AI employee and just let you know how this kind of developed. Now, in the October yearly event that HighLevel had, which is their sort of summit, what they call it, they introduced AI employee back in 2024. Now, prior to that, they had several AI tools. They were building AI tools. Each tool had its own name, but it wasn't combined into a sort of overall encompassing name. So they all had their own different names and it was getting confusing. So in October 2024, during the yearly summit, HighLevel actually combined a lot of the tools that currently existed at that time into something they called AI employee. So when we move forward, I'm going to go over in this video all the components that currently make up AI employee, as well as how to use them, where they're located, pricing models, and that's just not pricing models regarding AI employee. It's also going to include pricing models for some of the newer AI features, which again, the pricing models have changed a little bit. So hang in there with me and I'm going to hook you up with all the information in this video. So right now, again, in 2024, they created AI employee. Since October 2024, obviously to October 2025, they have come out with several other upgrades or components, betas, and they had a lot of new AI tools launch in October 2025, which is pretty common that they do that during the summit of the yearly event. So they can give you like 100, 200 new features. It's really crazy. It's really overwhelming and exciting all at the same time to see all these new things come out. But I'm going to talk about those as well and just the progression, because the new tools that were released in 2025 do not include part of AI employee. These are tools that exist outside of AI employee. So again, I want to sit back and help you understand all the different components, how they work, and actually how they function. So let's go ahead and hop right on in and start taking a look. Now, the first thing I want to do is actually go over and look at a couple of help articles. And these help articles will be very valuable to you to help you understand the information I'm talking about in this particular video. Now, just to let you know, real quick, I'm going to give you this quick blurb. This is going to be a long video. It is, because it's got a lot of different components and I want to sit back and go over all of them. But since I'm not a complete a-hole, I want to make sure that you can access the answers without having to sit back and watch an hour-long video. So please check the chapters in the video description. They should link you to the current topic or the topic that you're looking for, and then hopefully get the answers by just watching a few minutes. But hey, if you're watching this, I appreciate if you watch the whole thing, because YouTube likes it when you watch a lot. So I appreciate your support. So that's all. I just want to make sure that you know that. And anytime during the video, if you think this is some great information, smash that like button here. It really helps me out. Thank you for your support. So let's hop back into it. There are a couple of help articles that I'm going to include in the video description here that are really valuable in case you can't find them. One of them is this document here, which I'm actually rather disappointed about, to be honest. This document has been out at HighLevel for a while now. And if you take a look at it, it was just recently updated in December 2025. So it's been only about 4 months ago, but they haven't updated this document right here, this little graphic, which kind of is a little bit crazy. AI employee consists of all these different components that I'm going to discuss, tell you how each one of these components work, how they're used. If you want to use them, great. If you don't, because people that run AI businesses and AI agencies don't use all of this information. They don't use all the AI tools that are in AI employee. They may only use a couple to solve business problems. So I want to sit back and explain what each one of them are for to determine whether or not you need them with your client or your business. And hopefully you find the information useful. All right. So right now you see 6 components. Voice AI. I'm going to try to blow this up a little bit here. Give me a second. Voice AI, funnel, and website AI. Website AI is something that just came out. Actually, it was just funnel AI. But about a month or two ago, according to this video, they came out with website AI, which is great. And I'll go over that as well. Reviews AI, conversation AI, content AI, and then workflow AI. Now, there's one actually rather big component that's missing from AI employee, and that's Ask AI. Now, I'm going to go over what Ask AI is, because this is something that has been introduced in the HighLevel since here over the last year. And it's really a cool tool for you to sit back and be able to utilize if you really want to begin automating a lot of the processes within HighLevel, meaning just being able to speak and tell HighLevel what you wanted to do, what you wanted to build, and it will understand what you're asking and ask you questions and so forth. So we'll get into that. But right now, I'm just going to take these one at a time. Voice AI, funnel, and what I want to do is just take a minute and just contextually help you understand where each one of these are used. Okay, how they're used and in what capacity you would end up using some of these. Voice AI agents, and by the way, guys, I'm going to go over some of these and show you where all these are inside the platform. I'm just taking a minute to go over them so that you can understand which ones you're going to need and so forth. So again, voice AI has to deal strictly with phone calls in, phone calls out. So this is one of the major components that AI agencies are now using, because with voice AI, you can now have a voice AI agent answer the phone call, give a certain response, have a certain prompt that's going to be able to ask questions or do certain things based upon the prompt. It has things called knowledge bases, which allows you to program quickly the AI systems, and I'll show you where those are as well. But really, voice AI deals with inbound and outbound calling. That's it. Nothing else. That's all. Okay? Now, funnels and website AI is just what you would expect. If you're looking to build a funnel, or if you're looking to build a website, these can actually build them automatically based upon some of the information that you provide. And I'm going to go through how each one of these works in the video, so just don't worry about that. Now, I will let you know that I did create a separate video for the website AI, so if that's what interests you, you might want to check out the other video on my YouTube channel. But this is really great for people that want to be able to have an entryway into a particular business. Maybe you're offering a free website or a website at a discounted amount. If you want to prospect, and if you want to actually potentially even migrate somebody's site from their current website into HighLevel automatically, you can prompt and build prompts inside of website AI to do both of those things. So I've created a whole other video that goes over all that, and I'm not going to include that in this particular video. I just simply want to put the idea in your head that for website AIs, you can actually go through, look through Google Maps, find a particular business that doesn't have a website, copy their Google business information directly from Google Maps, paste it with a couple of ChatGPT prompts that created for you guys, and then boom, you can have ChatGPT create a prompt that then you feed into the website AI that will in turn build a customized page with the name, the information like the phone number, all the reviews, everything is already pre-built onto the particular website already, allowing you to be able to send a link directly to that person to prospect them, say, hey, I built your website. Here's what it looks like. Let me know if you want it. So that's really powerful. Before, you'd have to build something like that or use a very generic custom template to do that, where now you can actually build a very distinct website just for them with all of their personalized information already on it. And you can do that in just a few minutes. And then, of course, funnel AI, if you want to build a funnel, you just simply tell it, give it some parameters, and it can create the funnel for you, which again saves a lot of time and energy with just building the layout, having all the images and copy and components and so forth on it. Now, reviews AI. Reviews AI is what you use when you want to automatically reply to somebody who've left a Google review for yourself or for one of your clients. So that's what reviews AI does. Now, there's some other things that it can do inside of there. There's a lot more logic, but ultimately, if you want to deal with automatically replying to Google reviews that are left, that's where reviews AI comes in, and that's all it's used for. Now, conversation AI. Conversation AI is where all of the other communication channels really get tied together. Now, I told you already, voice only deals with inbound and outbound calls, but if you're aware of HighLevel, you're aware that there are several other communication channels that people can possibly contact the business on. I'm going to name a few of them. You can have somebody directly text the main HighLevel business number. So if somebody wants to text directly, how can that? This is where conversation AI can automatically respond. Any website chat widget that happens. So the website chat widget or any of the other components or counterparts can handle AI, conversation AI can handle that. So again, you have Facebook, Instagram integration, WhatsApp integration, all of these other channels that you could possibly communicate with on all get brought into conversation AI. So this is a very important part of what you're looking to build, depending upon how you're looking to build it. Now, the great thing about it is you don't need one conversation AI bot that can handle all of those channels, because that's not what at least I recommend to my affiliates. So if you're looking to build conversation AI, build one for, say, SMS. So when somebody texts you, you know the conversation they're actually having, and this particular conversation AI can handle all the texting. Another one handles all the social media. So maybe it handles Facebook and Instagram communication. And then another one handles any of the website chat widgets information. So you can separate the conversation AI by just simply telling it what channel you want it to communicate with or respond to. And we're going to go over, and I'm going to show you what all these look like in the interfaces. But before we get into the details, I feel a lot of my affiliates, a lot of the people that sign up for HighLevel that I coach, have a problem with understanding where the components are used and how they're used so they can effectively build the right AI system. That's all. Okay. Now, content AI. Content AI is really only used when creating text or images. So if you're doing emails and you want to build an email campaign, you can use content AI to help create emails and create images and so forth. If you're doing blogs, it's a great way to create a blog article and use content AI and then the image AI to create the featured image and all that other kind of stuff. So that's great. But here's the thing. content AI really, in my opinion, isn't used a lot in most AI businesses. Why? Because content AI really doesn't help improve the bottom line of most businesses, like the voice AI component and the conversation AI component. And then, of course, the new website AI component, where it can help build a website very quickly. And again, if you can build a one-page website that you can just simply generate in a few minutes, give your client, just say, hey, if you sign up, I'll give you this. Typically, we charge $1,000 for this website and something for setup fees and blah, blah, blah. But if you sign up today, we'll go ahead and give you the website and automatically include part of your hosting of that website with our monthly fees that we charge you. So you could be in charge of their website, making any changes and so forth. And then, of course, the reviews AI, if you're really interested in doing Google reviews, that component really has a good impact on small businesses as well. But right now, content AI is really something that is very niche with certain particular type of industries that really deal with wanting to generate content and images. Now, keep this in mind. You can use content AI also in the social planner. So if you're doing social media management, it's a great tool for helping generate social media posts, maybe an infographic to help generate for the image that might go into a social media post. That right there comes along very helpful if you're doing that kind of work. So not last, but next to last we got is workflow AI. Inside of workflow AI, HighLevel has been doing a great job with helping people being able to build workflows and automations easily, but it doesn't necessarily come intuitive. Even though I personally think that the workflow builder is self-intuitive, it's just a step by step. You just simply keep adding the logical steps that you want to perform whenever something happens, like somebody fills out a form or somebody signs up, things like that on your website or purchases something from you. That it seems pretty intuitive, but some people might need some help. Or if you're doing something, it really helps out to save time by just saying something like, hey, I want to build a 52 email workflow where I send out one email every week for an entire year. Build that workflow out starting from email one, wait one week, and then send out the second email, wait a week, give it a prompt like that, and it can build a huge workflow that would really might take you a couple of hours, honestly, to go through and build. And at least it gives you the framework for all of that. So it really can be helpful in saving time. But again, all of these individual components cost some money, and I'm going to get into the cost a little bit later on after I go over the features, because the cost really gets into detail with some of the new pricing model changes that HighLevel did in 2025 at the summit. So anyway, the last component of AI Employee is Ask AI. Now it's not on here, but Ask AI is built in as an AI assistant directly into the HighLevel platform at the root level of the sub-account or the agency, where you can simply ask it questions and ask it to do things. And it can actually do other things regarding that other AI features that you have here. For instance, you can tell Ask AI, create me a voice AI agent that does this. And it'll ask you a bunch of questions, all the questions that you need to answer. It'll take all of that and then it'll build what you want for you automatically. So you can do stuff like that now with this new powerful feature called Ask AI. And really that Ask AI is really going to be the sort of center part. It's the top level AI that interacts with all the other AI components to help build those things directly from the main HighLevel interface. So you don't need to go into any particular menu option or anything like that, like you do with some of these other components. Great. So now that we've covered all of those particular components, there are a few other components that I'm going to look at, and I'm just going to tell you about right now that are part of HighLevel that were included in last 2025 October's summit. And those are the Agent Studio, which is a great new visual design tool. And I don't want to say it's meant to compete with something like N8M or something like that, but it's more of a graphical user interface processing that has different tools for accessing external systems than the current workflows do now. And we'll take a look at that briefly just in this particular aspect as well. But Agent Studio is not a part of AI Employee. So therefore the costs are going to be different. And again, I'll get into the cost a little bit later on in the video. So some other components are the Voice AI chat widget. This is now where you can make a phone call from a website directly into the Voice AI agent. It doesn't actually use the protocols for telephones. It actually uses a different protocol. I don't know what it is, but it works. And it works on mobile and it also works on it. So even on a mobile phone, you can just simply click on the website widget, click on call, and speak to the Voice AI agent the same way as if you were calling the direct number. So you get the exact same experience, which is awesome. And then finally, you've got the AI outbound calling. This was something that people really wanted to have. HighLevel automatically start calling outbound. That is a new feature that was released. It is highly restrictive. I'm just letting you know right now of all the compliance and everything that needs to be done. It is possible for you to do that, but it does take a little bit of setup in order to get that up and going. So These are the particular components. And right now, what I want to do is just go step by step through each one of these and kind of show you where they're at inside of HighLevel. So right now we're going to go over, and this is just a demo account. I'm going to come down on the menu to AI agents, and I'm going to go to voice AI first. So here we're going to go to agent list. We can look at all the agents that we currently have. I'm not going to be dealing with any one of these specifically because I'm going to sit back and create an agent here. Now, here's where you get an option: browse the marketplace or create a custom agent. Now, if you're creating a custom agent, this is where you actually have to define all the parameters inside of the voice AI yourself. No problem. That's not a big deal. We're going to walk through that. That's one of the examples we're going to do. But I also want to show you the browse marketplace. If you click on this, there are a lot of other voice AI and conversation AI pieces that are free, that if it fits a certain model, please take a look at this. If you're looking for a specific one, there are lots and lots of free voice AI agents here. And again, is it exactly what you might want to use? No, you might need to tweak it a bit, but it might be closer to where you want to be than the default voice AI agent prompt. That's all I'm saying. Just like right now, dentist voice AI booking. So again, if you're looking for dentist dental appointments, but this one right here is free, and it already includes the things that might be involved with the dentist, so you don't need to configure them, or at least gives you a starting point. So anyway, this is something you definitely should take a look at here before you create it to see if there's something already out there that you can use that might get you 50% or even more of the way there. Right now, I'm going to go the hard route because that's me. I always like doing things the hard way. Not really. I was just saying that. So right now you get this nice little wizard. So you get to call it an agent name. You get to call it whatever you want. Put in your business name that you're looking for. Now this automatically pulls the business name of the sub account. So I'm going to leave this the same. GoHighLevel Agency is just a fake business name that I created for doing these demo videos. You do have different languages that you could choose. Lots of different languages here. So that's really nice to be able to handle that. You could change the voice. Again, to switch whatever voice you want. Click on this. Lots of different voices that you can include. Here's the time zone. Be sure that you make sure you do that because whenever you're doing the time zones, that's going to depend upon how it books calendars and things like that. So you need to make sure that you give it the right time zone so it can adjust for wherever the business is. My suggestion is create the time zone wherever your client is. That way the agent knows what time zone it's in and then can adjust the calendar accordingly. Whenever the voice AI agent responds with potential appointment dates and times, it'll come up with the right dates and times. Now, here's one of the ones that was a game changer right here. The LLM model. So this is where you actually get to choose. They didn't have this before. This was actually recently within the last 6 months or so. Now you can choose what model of AI you want to have voice AI model after. Now, by default, HighLevel always used ChatGPT, and it just went up on whatever the current version was. And if they moved to a certain version, everything in the platform went to that particular version, which some people didn't like. Some people might want to use older, more reliable ones, that versions of ChatGPT that were more responsive and gave better responses. But some people might want to use a new one. But here we've got ChatGPT, we've got Claude, we've got Gemini. We could do any one of these. Okay. So we could choose all of them, and keep in mind that each one of these has different prices. I haven't got to pricing yet, so I will get to that after we go through the features here, but you at least get to choose what model you want to deal with. Now here is your inbound and your outbound calling. So your inbound calling, this is the script, whatever it is that the agent reads for you. Hey, you've reached GoHighLevel Agency. How can I help you today? That's it. Change it to whatever you want. I'm going to scroll back out here. And if you want to, there are some advanced settings that you can go through here regarding like how long the call can be, some of the agent behaviors, how well the agent will interrupt somebody if they're already speaking, maybe to get clarification on something, things like that. So check those out. But those are just like really for fine tuning. We're going to go ahead and click next. Here's the agent goals. Now, by default, you have basic mode on with voice AI. You can come over here and switch this to advanced mode, and we will take a look at that in a minute. But I'm just doing basic mode for right now. One of the nice things about this is that you could choose a knowledge base. Now, real quickly, knowledge bases are located right here in the menu. If you look up here at the top, knowledge base. I'm not going to go to that right now. But just think of a knowledge base as something that you can create where you can put in websites that maybe go have different frequently asked questions on, or websites that they've already established that has a bunch of information on it that the AI can learn from. Maybe it has files that you've already uploaded. Maybe it has conversations. You can upload multiple different things into a knowledge base to make the AI smarter about responding to calls regarding your customers and your particular business's niche. Now, if you take a look here, notice that I've got some built for massage therapists, landscapers, let me blow this up, plumbers, social media, pest control, HVAC, nail salon, you take your pick. You can create knowledge bases for any of them. Now, keep in mind that currently at the time, I think you're only allowed 15 knowledge bases max for right now, and they don't allow you to have any more than that. But anyway, the knowledge base is just a very quick way of saying, yes, this is going to be for dentists. So I'm going to put the dentist knowledge base in here. So it has all the information, the frequently asked questions regarding dentistry, dentists, and all the things that people normally call and ask dentists about so that the AI can respond effectively. So again, depending upon what business niche you are, it would probably be the best interest for your business to create its own knowledge base for that particular niche so that you can continue to use that over and over. And then as you update it across all of your different clients. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that. So you can select a knowledge base here. Now it just says, when do you use this knowledge base? This is more like the prompt. Use this knowledge base if the user asks any questions. Sorry, blow this up a little bit. Use this knowledge base if the user asks any questions about the business, services, products, blah, blah, blah. So again, just when should I use this? This is when you should use it, whenever people ask questions. Now, if you're doing this, I would say always collect the name, the email address, the address of it. If this is something that is going to require a technician to go out to a particular location. If it's like a nail salon where somebody comes in for you, you don't too much care that much where they live because they're coming into your office. You don't necessarily need to know where they live. But then the context issues. Now, the issue is not necessarily means a problem. It just means whatever they're calling in about. That's all. Now, some of the other things here, you can actually trigger workflows when this is completed to set up automations whenever something happens that you can trigger it. But you can also send email notifications by default to all the admins. So they just get an email saying a new voicemail or a new contact issue was created. I'm going to go to next. Now here's where you can simply choose the phone number. So I've got one phone number listed here, but I'm not going to select it. But you can select the phone number. This ties the voice AI agent to one particular phone number. Now, here's the great thing about HighLevel. You can create, if you have 5 users that all need their own number, you can have 5 different phone numbers and 5 different voice AI agents all monitoring each particular line. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the voice AI agent for the main line is going to be the same as all the other personal ones. Let's just say you have a salesperson and the salesperson has their own personal private line. You might want to have that voice AI agent respond differently than somebody calling into the main line because now they're speaking directly to that particular salesperson. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Here's the gotcha. Please, I see this so much with my affiliates. Uncheck this. What I mean by this is I don't know why this is a default, but it says enable AI agent as a backup to the phone number pool. What this means is that if you want the voice AI agent to respond by default, meaning to always pick up the phone whenever somebody calls this phone number, turn that off. Because if you have this turned on, for the most part, it may or may not work. I've seen some sporadic things happen with that, but it creates a backup. Now, why should you have this turned on? Turn it on whenever the business wants the call to be sent to the main phone number. And then if somebody doesn't answer the main phone number, then it can fall back and have voice AI answer it if nobody's available in the business office. So this is what it means, enable the AI agent as the backup. If it's not the backup, if it's going to be answering all phone calls 24/7, turn it off right here. Please. I get most of the people just saying, hey, the voice AI agent isn't picking up. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. I'm calling and it's just not working. That's the reason why. So here's also, I want to stop right here and just let you know, this is where you can upgrade to the unlimited AI plan. And if you click on this, again, I'm going to go over that later on, but this is one of the places where you can upgrade to the AI Unlimited plan right here. And then finally, whenever you do this, you can click save, and now the agent is actually created. So now that we actually have it created, we can sit back and just simply open it up. And I'm going to come back here to agent goals and see, notice here, it doesn't give you any ability other than this like little area right here on when to use a knowledge base. But if you switch to advanced mode, what this does, it allows you to sit back and be more specific and actually give an agent role. Here you can be descriptive. You can actually give agents like a name. It's like your name is Angela or Henry, whatever it is you want to, you can tell the agent that what their name is so that they can reply back and things like that. But you can't do that in basic mode. So you have to do that in the prompt mode. But now you have access to the prompt that controls all the stuff that happens with AI. You can change it. You can customize it. You can copy this, paste it into ChatGPT and fine tune it a little bit, and then copy that back in here if you want to. People have done that. So that's where you can sit back and handle all of this. So another great part of this I didn't really go over is testing your agent. So if you want to sit back and test your agent, you can just simply say a phone call, simply give it a number that you want it to call from the number, and then where you want it to call. And this is a way to test the voice AI agent inside of HighLevel. Now keep in mind, I will show you right now, I think I need to move myself out of the way here, but let me blow this up. You only get a certain amount of minutes here. Sorry about that. Just trying to move this over, but 20 minutes left today. So you get 20 minutes every day to test the voice AI free. Other than that, we're going to be charging you on a call-by-call basis unless you have the unlimited plan, which again, I'll go over the pricing model later. So you can do all of that here. So that's really it. Whenever you configure this, if you just use the basic default HighLevel prompt, it'll be more than enough to simply answer questions, assuming you have the right knowledge base program for your AI to be able to sit back and answer questions for any of the people that simply call your office. So hopefully that makes sense. These agents really, if you take a look at it, if you've been through this process once or twice, you can create an agent in a matter of a minute, 2 minutes, and have it up and working. So it's pretty straightforward. But again, check out the marketplace. There's a lot of cool prompts being developed that is offering for free because HighLevel is really doing a great job with wanting to make this as easy as possible for people to sit back and use, and creating all these free customized agents really are helpful. That's Voice AI agent. Now, I'm gonna come back here. Let's go right to left here. Let's go over to Conversation AI. Now, before I go to Conversation AI, let me just take a quick minute to the knowledge base. I wasn't going to go over this, but I'm just going to simply look at this. If I wanted to create a knowledge base, I would just simply give it a name, type whatever it is, click create. Now, when I create this, here's all the different things. The web crawler, this is where you can put in different websites that can go out and actually crawl to get information. So depending upon your business, you could have to crawl other external websites as well to get answers to questions. But just please be careful that sometimes if you're pointing to another person's website, the answer you get may not be what you're looking for. So please be careful. So one of the things about the web crawler, though, is that it's good because you can also put in there Google documents that you're sharing with a share link. Then you can put that share link inside of this web crawler and it will crawl the Google document as long as you set up a link to access it. So FAQs, this is a way for you to manually add FAQs. If you want to drag and drop or just simply copy and paste a table, it will do that. It can do rich text. So you can just simply type stuff in yourself here, copy and paste. All that stuff works. Or if you just simply want to do a file upload, if you have a bunch of information in a file, PDF, things like that, just simply click here to add source. It'll ask you for which one you want, which one of these. If you do file upload, either PDF, DOC, or DOCX. So either one of those works. So that's how you simply build a knowledge base very quickly. And I at least wanted to introduce that to you while I was here. Now, back to AI Employee Conversation AI. So again, here in the agent list, I want to sit back and click on Create Bot. Notice that we have a couple of ones here. This is a little bit, I wouldn't say more complicated. It's just the Conversation AI bot, because it covers so many channels and integrates with HighLevel a little bit differently than the voice system, that it has a couple of different options for you. So let me give you this to you. Guided form setup. Very basic. If you're just getting started and want to set up a basic reply, choose this one. Okay, this is the one you choose. This is like basic mode in the voice AI prompt. Notice in the advanced mode, you get the prompt where you can customize the prompt. Here's the advanced mode, the prompt-based mode. Okay, this is where you can actually provide a prompt. You can give it specific custom information. So if you're good about prompt building, then you could do this if you want to customize it even more. But if you're not, please just use the guided setup. HighLevel is trying to make it very easy and universal to use this to basically get a point of just simply asking for the information that you need so you can get it set up quickly and move on. Now, obviously, this flow-based, this is where HighLevel has integrated the conversation AI directly in with workflows. So there are several conversation AI components that can be built into workflows if you have a more detailed, structured way of how you want to handle flows and communications. This is for like people with really complicated setups here. I've seen this in things like solar companies where they have to ask a lot of questions and pre-verify people, and they want to do that automatically before they actually see if that's somebody that they want to set up a call with. Because obviously, if they're doing solar, and one of the questions is your house available to direct sunlight or not? If your house is completely covered by trees and is shaded the whole time, then solar company doesn't want to talk to you because there's no reason that you're going to put solar panels on your house because you don't have direct sunlight hitting your house. That's just a small example. But I've seen roofing companies go into this as well. Very advanced articulation for all the communication and calls, especially if you get a lot of them, so that you can sit back and filter out the people that are tire kickers or not really of interest. No offense to them personally, but you just don't want to waste valuable resources on a call when if the first question is your house in the sunlight. No, my house is completely surrounded by trees. Okay, that's all we needed. We're not going to be a good fit. Thank you very much. Boom. Now you just wasted that appointment slot on somebody that you just got done with in 2 minutes on a phone call that you could have had this workflow builder filter them out. Okay, so that's some of the pieces here. So I'm just going to do the very basic one here, create a new bot. Now here's where it says you want to have general Q&A or appointment booking. Now, what's the big deal about this one? If you don't want the AI bot on SMS, the chat widget, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, any of those channels, if you don't want it to book appointments, choose the general Q&A. If it's supposed to book appointments, then please, by all means, do appointment booking. I'm going to do appointment booking. Now, some of the things that we need is whenever you create this new conversation AI bot, here's one of the caveats of creating this. HighLevel has created something called brand voice. Now, that's another shoot off. If you take a look here, it asks you to create a brand voice. I already have one created in this account. I've got a couple because I've had demos over this. But if we're going to be doing this, let me go ahead and duplicate this right here. And I just want to at least show you where this thing is. So if you come down here to sites, I believe, or no, maybe marketing. Yeah, marketing to brand boards. And then brand boards, you have brand voice. This is where you create that. And if you come to brand voice, you can, I would just say start from scratch on this one. But it's going to ask you a bunch of different questions. Okay. What's your brand name, the type of business, a bunch of other information here. I actually have a whole other video regarding brand voice, how to configure it with a bunch of other stuff that you should configure in some of these other boxes. down here, just understand that this is going to be a requirement before the conversation AI bot can be configured. You have to create one of these. So just, you might as well do it right now. Now, just real briefly, brand voice is just a way to tell the conversation AI how your brand or company wants to speak to people. What tone, friendly, personal, whatever that particular tone is. What is your mission? What's your purpose of your business? What's the pain points of your customer? A lot of different things like that, so that AI has an understanding of how you want to speak to people, what your mission is, what your goal is to service for customers, what the customer's pain points are, and then it can use all that in the conversation mode. So that's just one thing I want to show you. I'm going to close that out. So I already have one here. And again, I'll just let you watch the other video, but that's a whole other thing by it of itself. But if you don't have that, you can't proceed beyond this point. Now, here it has all the information for the brand voice right here. Once that's selected, we can go ahead and click next and move on to the bot settings. Of course, you can give the bot a name. You could just call this SMS bot. Maybe the SMS is the only one that you want. Now, here are all the different channels that I spoke about. So I'm going to blow this up a little bit. And forgive me, I may move myself back over here. Get out of the way. But here's all the different channels that you can configure. Now, let's just say if this is an SMS bot, we don't want Instagram, we don't want Facebook, just click on it. Don't want the chat widget, the live chat, or WhatsApp. We just want SMS, okay? Now, by the way, if you wanted to, SMS does work with the missed call text back system. So if you don't want to do voice AI, if you want to work with the missed call text back system, this is what you need, because keep in mind when somebody calls and the missed call text back sends a text message to them, they're going to respond with the text. And then when they respond with the text, conversation AI is going to pick that conversation up and answer it, and then do whatever it is that you want. Now, here's the bot's initial greeting. If you want to give it an initial greeting, hello, yeah, thanks so much for reaching out to whatever, how can I help you, or something like that. This is where you would type that message in. Wait time before responding. This just makes sure that if you wanted to give it a little bit longer, or you want to respond quicker, the default's 2 seconds. I think that worked fine. If you did want to make this your primary bot, okay? Now, what does it mean to be primary? It just means that only the primary bot will respond to inbound messages. That's not really true here. It's only true if you have 2 bots monitoring the same channel, okay? But you can't have multiple bots monitoring multiple channels and have those bots respond. So anyway, go ahead and click next. Here's where we get to the bot goals. Keep in mind that now we have the OpenAI SSUC 4.1. Notice that we cannot change it. HighLevel is putting this in place in some of their other AI features, but currently they don't have the feature updated with conversation AI. So you are using ChatGPT 4.1 for conversation AI. And again, you see some of the common things: ask for name, email address, phone. If you need street address, city, some of these other ones, then you can do all of that. Here's where you describe the objective of the question. This is, again, it's not building a prompt, like trying to create a prompt. It's very basic, trying to help understand what is your goal. Just describe the question or objective to ask the question to the username. You see what I'm saying? So describe the questions or objectives. So all of these are different things that you're going to want to put in place. Now, these are all here because we've checked these boxes above: name, email, and phone. So how does it know what to ask for? Ask the user for their name. Ask the user for their email address. If there's additional information that you want, specifically if there's things like custom fields and stuff like that you have created, you can sit back and just simply say, ask the user, we can help them. So as you see here, you can ask different questions inside of the system based upon the prompts that you select here: name, email, phone, and it's going to ask the user for their name, ask them for their email, ask them for their phone number, and then put it into that particular field. If you wanted to, you can come down here and ask an additional question. If you want to find out what city, what their date of birth is, or whatever, postal code, you can sit back and put them into one of these fields as well. So again, you can ask, or you can at least have the conversation AI ask other questions as well. I'm going to delete that. Now, we did say this was a appointment booking, so we're going to choose just one. I think I'm going to do demo AI calendar. And if you wanted to, you can have a workflow fire after the appointment booking is done. Now, you don't necessarily need to manually fire something. If you already have a workflow built, that'll handle like scheduling new appointments. As soon as a new appointment gets scheduled in a workflow, a particular calendar, then that workflow will just fire and handle all the appointment scheduling as well. But if you want to manually do it, you can do it here. Okay, if you want to have the bot cancel or reschedule appointments in case people call back in, you can have them do that as well. You can turn on email notifications as well through here so that the admins get messages for all the communications. Now, keep in mind, if you do this, it could get a little bit more cumbersome, because if they're getting lots of, let's just imagine they're doing 20, 30, 40 calls or communications per day. That's a lot of emails from the voice AI system and the conversation AI system that they're going to get. So just please keep that in mind. Sometimes if people can get overwhelmed with stuff, but you might want to turn that on the very beginnings just so that the owner or the client starts seeing all the action and activity saying, hey, Somebody just communicated with text. Hey, somebody just came in through Facebook. Hey, somebody just called. Hey, and they start seeing all this stuff and it makes them excited because they're like, man, this stuff is really checking all of this stuff and I don't need to do it, which is how you sell your service. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save here. That's going to create it. Now you can have this turned off. It'll do nothing. Suggestive, meaning that it won't respond automatically, but give you suggestions whenever you get to certain places that AI is used on how to respond in communication to them, or turn autopilot and then just let it go and then it'll just run by itself. So I'm going to choose autopilot and click save and continue. Now here's our bot. I'm going to open that up. Now here's some of the other features that we've already saw. One of them that you didn't get to see inside of the wizard, which I don't know why, is the knowledge base. So after you create it, you will have to come in here and select the knowledge base. And because we did dentist before, I'm going to select the dentist again. Now keep in mind, one of the things I found weird is with voice AI, you can have one knowledge base, but with conversation AI, I believe it's seven. So right here, up to 7 knowledge bases right here. That right there is what you could do. And you can simply select another knowledge base if you want to, or just simply click the X and just have one. Okay. But you do need to come in here and set it. And then this is where, of course, you can test your bot over on this side. Here's your brand voice. Oh, I need to save it. So this goes over the brand voice settings. So you could change that if you want to. Your bot goals. So this right here is where you sit back and change and create everything. Now keep in mind, one of the things that you see here is that notice you don't see like an advanced mode. Okay. Remember for the buttons and stuff or voice AI, you can go from basic to advanced. And by the way, when you go from basic to advanced and you implement advanced, you cannot go back to basic. Just to let you know that. Now here's just some additional information if you want for the greeting and things like that. So this right here, and then the dashboard that gives you for just your inbound calls, contacts, things like that, just an overall dashboard of what conversation AI is doing. So that is just real quick conversation AI in a nutshell. And again, if you're starting out basic, don't make it complicated. Just use the defaults that HighLevel has. It'll respond correctly. The only thing I would have to say, please, pretty please with sugar on top. Get a knowledge base that is very well populated. Get a knowledge base file that has a lot of information. Make sure that if you're going to be using the knowledge base in multiple different clients, that nothing is specific for a certain client, meaning that no answers or anything like that has a client's name in it or client's pricing, unless that knowledge base is custom just for them, which you could apply the knowledge base and then you could customize that knowledge base once it's already installed to add additional FAQs specific to that client. Okay. But the general one, the one that you use for like new clients, like new dentist clients, make that sure that thing is bulletproof and work on it to make sure that it's informative as possible, because the more that you put in there, the better the AI can respond to questions and sound intelligent when it does. All right. So next on the list, I'm going to come over to funnel and website AI. So again, this should not take too long. I'm not going to be spending a lot of time here, but if you take a look that there's this build with AI, keep in mind the funnel and website AIs are still in beta. So if you click on build the funnel, it's just going to pop up with here. Now you do get, I believe on these, you do get some of them as default, like you get so many funnel builds per month here, or you can also, at some point, HighLevel is going to start charging you. Like there's going to be some additional charges. So here, if you wanted to use the assist, this right here, let me try to blow this up. I'm not sure why my scrolling is not working left or right, but anyway, name of the funnel page. This is just where you put, what do you want to call the funnel? You select the business niche, the goal. What is the appointment of goals? Generate leads, book appointments. What is the goal? What's your target audience? Small businesses, enterprises, students, professionals, things like that. What are you offering? Free consultation, ebook guide. So you have an idea of what your lead magnet is or what you're offering. And then it will generate something for you. Now, keep in mind when it generates that, it's going to generate generic. No custom names, nothing like that. Now, if you want to do something, this is where the build comes in. If you click on the build tab, then you can actually have a prompt where you can build a prompt that say, build a funnel that does lead generation and things. I'm not going to go over prompt building because honestly, I'm not an expert at it. I'd probably be intermediate, but this is where you can build a prompt and you can use ChatGPT, even the free version, to help ChatGPT build a better prompt that is better whenever you use it to build these. And then you can simply build it. You can copy and paste information, say build a funnel page specific for this dentist office, and just copy and paste like the Google Maps information off of it, paste it into ChatGPT, and then it'll summarize all the information you just pasted. You don't have to be all specific and type all the stuff in, just copy it right off of scrape it right from Google Maps, paste it right in here. And that's all you really need to do. And then it will build a custom funnel for you. Okay. So this right here typically does take a few minutes. Again, I'm not going to go through all that. That's something that you could test. Website is very similar. So if you come here and click on build AI with the website, again, this is something that's new. They've had the funnel for a while, the funnel AI, but now they've got the website AI, which is pretty cool. Now, when you do this, the same type of thing, here's your assist. We'll build a generic website for people, which might be to your purpose. But if you do this build, this is where you can do things like create a specific website for a specific customer in a few minutes and then send them that link to prospect directly to them. Say, hey, I built this website just for you. It has their name, their phone number on the buttons and all that kind of cool stuff. And it looks cool and customized. And you just let AI build it. Or if you already have a customer that has an external website, you can actually use this to say, hey, go out and make an exact copy of this page, pull the graphic, the text, the images, rebuild the layout format onto HighLevel, and it will build inside of HighLevel. It might get you 60, 70, 80% of the way there for the website, but it's a way that you could potentially more quickly migrate the website into HighLevel, okay, using those particular features. Now, again, those are in beta, so those are actually being available for free, but at some point, I'm sure they're going to have a cost associated with it. So let's go ahead and just move to the next one, which is Content AI. So right now, I think, let me see if I've got my social media connected here. Good idea. So scroll out here. I'm going to click on New Post. Now I'm just going to show you this. The problem with this is I've got, again, another video that goes over where all the Content AI pieces are inside of HighLevel. Here's the problem with Content AI. You can't always find the AI features or the AI image creations in the same place. Social Planner, it's in one area. Email marketing, it's in a different area. If you go to the blog, it's in a different area of where you access it. So this is where you really have to pay attention depending on where you're using it at. But I'm just going to select my Facebook account. Now here, this is one of the things I want to show you. See the symbol right here? This little star? Keep that in mind because this right here is Ask AI. Anytime you see that symbol, and you'll see it when I go over it, it's at the top toolbar. You might not have even seen it, but that symbol icon is Ask AI, okay? So that's what it means. So right now, if you wanted to, you can click on that and actually say generate with AI. So you can ask it to do it for you. If you come over here to do image, you see it says create image using AI. So this is where you would do image creation and so forth right here. So this is just the different places that you would actually pull in and actually use the Content AI features inside here. If you click on this and say, yeah, generate with here, it gives you, give me the prompt, describe what you want your image to be, how many different variations. I'm going to give 3 different variations. Allows you to choose the different kind of theme or the way you want your thing to look. And you could see all the different ones here. Photo, you got, I don't like this digital art myself. Kind of looks like that cheap clip art. But anyway, if you want it to be a sketch, that'd be another cool one. But you can have it do it in those kind of formats if you want and generate an image. And there is cost associated with that. So this is how you would use it inside of here. And again, you could use it to create text, or you can use it to create images for use with social media, email marketing, and specifically your blog area. And really, they're going to be including that to any place where you can create posts. So if you ever want to go into your funnel builder or your funnel or website builder, and you want to create copy on a website funnel, you can use Content AI there as well, and the image creation inside of the funnels as well. But again, those are in different places. So you just have to look for the certain icon. You have to look for the image, or you have to look for this particular icon that says Ask AI. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky, but I'm just going to show you where it is. I'm not going to demo that for right now. Next on our list is Reviews AI. So if you come here and you look at reputation management, or reputation down here on the menu, come over to your settings. This is where you have your Reviews AI. So this right here is the area where you can turn all that stuff on. Then again, this is very similar. You're going to see this everywhere with AI. Do you want it off? Do you want the suggestive mode, meaning that AI can suggest a reply, but requires a manual response to do that? Or do you want to switch it to auto responses where it just happens automatically? So you do this, you say, how much time do you want to wait between somebody leaving a review and replying? Let's just make it realistic and say 5 hours. So after they leave a review, 5 hours after that, somebody got it, they took a look at it, then they're going to leave it. Obviously, if you leave a response 2 seconds after they did it, then they're going to know, they're going to get a message, first of all, that a response was made to their Google review. And it's going to come back so quick, they're going to know it was AI, because there's no way somebody sitting there going to monitor it right away. So it just helps it, be more authentic. So here, if you want to integrate the reviews, this is where you can integrate your Google Business Profile. Now, I don't have that integrated right here, so there are some things I can't do because this is a test account and not a live account here. But this is where you'd have to integrate it to see all the reviews. You would see the reviews that you want to respond to right here. And then here, this is where you can create all of these different agents. This is where it becomes interesting because when Review AI first came out HighLevel, people didn't like necessarily because for the most part, the Review AI generated very similar replies on every review. Even though it customized it for the person's name, a lot of it was very similar. So now you can sit back and have different voices on there, different tones of how people respond. And you can do that using this create starter agents. So if you do this, create the starter agents, and you click proceed, then it'll create all of these different types of agents. Now notice that down here, Like this legacy review type, it'll respond to all, but let's just say solutions Sally. She only responds to 2 stars or below, and she responds on both Facebook and Google. Her tone is solution oriented. Okay, yeah, what happened? And let's get to the bottom of this and why you're leaving a bad review. And if you want to edit it, you can just simply come over here and click edit. And then you can simply, instead of saying solution oriented, you could change it to empathetic if you wanted to, and remove this if you wanted to. So you could change any of these that you want, and even the star rating. So all of these are available, but to click the different personality types, you can just simply click create starter agents and you're done. Now, when you do that and you set it to auto with so much time available, and these are already in place, boom, things just automatically start getting replied. Now, if we take a look here at the 4 stars and above, notice that the tone here is it's going to respond and it's going to be playful. So like a playful response. Yeah, just nice. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it. We always appreciate Google, our reviews for our customers, things like that. So this is where you set up the review AI here. And again, review AI is included in the AI employee. There are some things that are not. So all the things I'm talking about right now are part of AI employee. And when it comes to the cost, you'll see if you wrap all these costs up in AI employee, this is also included. All right. So next one here is workflow AI. So right now we can go to automations. Then they put this in a few other things. They've got this new build using AI feature right here. So if you click on it, it has a prompt. Now, if you want to, you can just, this is where you can give it a detail. I would suggest simply talking to it instead of necessarily building out a prompt. I want to send out a 52-week email sequence where I send out 1 email per week, wait 7 days, send out the second email. And I'd like you to build out the framework where I can put in all the email messages and then have it go out and at least create, because that takes time. If you've ever built these things out, if you do 52, that's 52 actions you have to create and then 52 wait steps. That's 100 something. That takes a long time. Why not use AI that could generate in a couple of minutes and they come back and they just fill in with email 1, I want to use this template. Email 2, I want to use this template. Things like that. So this is how you can use it to build it. And you can also do some other things if you get in. Let me open up a particular workflow here. I got a lot of test stuff I was working on. So inside here, if you wanted to, you can also come over here and click on this workflow AI on the toolbar. Okay. So you can click on this. So if you have a complicated workflow, like there's a lot of workflows I've seen that are just crazy looking. It's just like, I go cross-eyed looking at some of this stuff because it's so detailed. Then this is where you can simply come over here and do things like describe this workflow. Tell me what the workflow does. Or I keep getting an error here. Or how do I do something? You could do this or edit this workflow. So you can have the workflow AI help you and helping you understand what it is, what errors you're getting, and help you out with that. So that's where the workflow AI feature comes in. And again, it's good if you need it. But again, for the most part, for people that are looking to do businesses, voice AI, conversation AI, definitely the top 2. And then your funnels or website AI comes in maybe a 3rd, depending upon if you're doing the reviews and content AI. So all of those have places, but the top 2 here are the ones that I see really being used when it comes to creating AI businesses and AI agencies and being able to service the customers and solve their business problems, because voice AI and conversation AI responds to leads automatically. That's where your biggest bang for your buck is for this. Having to never lose a lead, always capture that lead information so that you never get a voicemail, you never get a missed call, you never get any of that other stuff. People get their questions responded. Now they may not like it and they may go somewhere else, but you're always going to be able to respond to customers when they contact you. So that's what's important. Now, the last thing on the list here deals with, I'm going to go back to the dashboard here, deals with Ask AI. Now, if you haven't seen up here in the toolbar, the very top, I blow this up, you get this little icon right here. Okay. See the icon, the double stars right there? This is where you get Ask AI. So if you have it, if you've never used it before, you can just simply click on it right here. And this is like your personal AI assistant. You can just simply say, a plucking in of Snoopy under the moon. I just made something up right here. I'm silly, but right now, just if you want to do something like that, this is the kind of things that you can just simply ask AI to do. So it's like, I think it's going to eventually get to the point where it really is your AI assistant. For any of the admins or stuff like that, you can say, hey, what's going on with this customer, Bill Smith? He called up and he's angry. What's going on with him? And Ask AI can actually go through, look at Bill Smith's contact record, look through his conversation area, read all the information and say, it looks like Bill had a problem with some services that you guys did, and he's been trying to get a hold of you to get it fixed and nobody's responding back to him. Boom. So you can just simply do something like that, have it summarize a contact record or what's going on with why this person's upset without having to go there and read everything that's in that conversation area. Again, I've seen some of these images take a long time, but look at that. Oh, Kizzy, just Snoopy. kissing a frog under the moon. So you get the point. So if you want to create things, Ask AI, I think, is really good if you want to start creating social media posts, but these are good for creating images. I've tried doing things where it creates images and then put text on images like infographics. It hasn't really performed very well. So I don't know if my prompt just isn't very good, but I've been getting mixed results. So anyway, I'm just sharing what I've learned from there. So those are all the different components and things of just how you can use them inside of HighLevel. So now that we've gone over all the components of AI Employee, okay, so now that we've gone over all the AI Employee stuff, let's talk about a few of the other pieces that are in here that are not a part of the AI Employee package. So we've got Agent Studio, which is located right here. Now again, Agent Studio is relatively new. It is something that is a little bit more complicated because it does involve some higher level elements and not necessarily. So this is, I would put this at intermediate to advanced in here. So you're really going to have a very good use case. But any specific, what I found useful here for Agent Studio is any type of external API calls that need to be made to systems outside of HighLevel. Agent Studio is where you want to be. So this is one of the reasons that they did it. So I'm just going to go through and just create one for test, create agent. And inside here, the designer is going to be a little bit interesting. Now they have updated this recently here to do things like include triggers. So you can use agent to be like a little bit more of an advanced looking workflow if you wanted to. It does have the triggers like form submitted, things like that. They tag a lead. It does have the AI agent features on here that you can use for AI agents and knowledge bases. But it also has some other things like some of these end nodes and what a router is here. Routers are just, hey, based upon a certain decision, based upon a certain set of logic, go one direction if this is the answer, go that direction if it's this answer, and go another direction if it's a different answer. Similar to an if-then statement inside of a workflow, but a little bit more advanced. But these are things that I wasn't necessarily going to show you a use case, but these are just things that you could put in here. If you're dealing with, again, MCP servers, API calls, these are those ones I told you that are making external calls to third-party systems and pulling data back in and maybe updating stuff. So you don't necessarily need to use or make or something like that to do external calls. You can call something like this to have it go out, retrieve data, and do something. So again, the Agent Studio is a new feature that was released in October 2025 at the summit, but it includes a different pricing model that I am going to go over when I get done with the rest of the components here. So the next thing I'm going to talk about here is the Voice AI chat widget. This is one that's pretty cool. So right now, if you click on new, notice that we've got all of these different chat widgets, the biggest one being Voice AI. Now, here's one thing about it. In order to use the Voice AI chat widget, you have to have at least one Voice AI agent set up. If you have 0 Voice AI agents set up, this will not be an option for you to even choose. Just to let you know, sometimes you're like, why can't I pick that? Because you need to set up a Voice AI agent for it to call first. Why? Because when you set up the Voice AI agent, the chat widget, you need to come here to the agent tab. That's right here. And then you need to select which agent of the voice agents is going to be responding to the call. Okay. So this is where it's pretty cool because again, you can have a Voice AI agent that is not even connected to a phone number. Let me say that again. Not all Voice AI agents have to go to a particular phone number. They can. But here you can simply tag this directly with the Voice AI agent because this particular chat widget does not use the standard telephony type of phone call mechanisms to a cell tower. It doesn't call a number. It uses another protocol, which I don't know, behind the scenes to make a call. So you can have a separate Voice AI agent that responds to people on your website, different than those people that call your main office. Just trying to give you that as an option. But here's what it looks like. You can give the agent a name, you can give them a title, you can customize everything else. And then whenever they do this, they can just simply click here to call, and it actually makes a phone call right there in the web browser through a mobile device or even through the desktop, and allows you to talk to a Voice AI agent over just the website. Pretty cool. So this new feature right here uses a different mechanism, which I'll talk about here. And then last but not least, let me go over to the outbound calling. And again, very similar with AI agents. If you want to have an AI agent here for Voice AI, so you would just simply you could just simply have your agent, open it up. And this is where you would simply come down here for the outbound call. If you're using this number for doing outbound calls, you would have to select a tab here for reading message configuration, like what the agent's name is and things like that. Now the outbound calling is something that's a little bit more new. Keep in mind, you do have to come in here and get this thing set up. I think I may not be able to find it here. I think it's under phone system, heavy voice. It's in here somewhere, not your call scripts. Trust. It's somewhere in here where you have to set up your outbound calling, but you have to go through and do a verification process. to verify stuff with like ID, and you even need a custom consent on all the forms that you use. And you can only put the consent on those forms with the wizard that's configuring the outbound calling. So you need to do, if you create a new form, you're going to have to go through the outbound calling wizard again and select that form to put this consent form on it. And once it's on there, even in the form builder, you can't delete it. And I'm sorry, I can't really show that to you. I can just simply help you understand what it is. But if you're going to be doing outbound calling, that is going to take a little bit of work to get that set up and customized. But just that feature alone, using the agent, is also going to be something that falls outside of AI Employee. So now, having said that, I'm going to sit back and not going to go over this again a lot. I can spend another hour going over just the pricing update, but I'm not going to blow the crap on it. And so this right here is the AI pricing update. Just to let you know some basic things. The AI Unlimited plan. Now, by default, if you go into, first of all, if you wanted to, you can actually go to the agency setting, go to your agency level, go to settings, and then go to AI Employee, and you could turn all these features of AI Employee off on any sub account that you don't even want to use. First of all. So if you don't even want them to see that, don't want them to have access to it, or even use it on a pay-per-use model, then just turn it off and they won't even be able to use those features. I didn't go over that, but that's something that you can set up at the agency level. Now, if you do want to move forward with AI Employee, meaning all of these 6 features and then the Ask AI, okay, that means unlimited number of content, like unlimited text, unlimited number of images that you create, build as many funnels, build as many websites as you want, as many reviews, all that kind of stuff, unlimited, then you would simply pay $97 a month. Now, first of all, quite frankly, I think if you're going to be using any of these services, you might as well just do the $97 a month, because if you're doing any volume and you do the math on this, it's just, you're going to be spending more than $97 on this stuff on a pay-per-usage basis, and it's going to just drive you crazy. So anyway, $97 a month, but keep in mind, the Agent Studio, Voice AI Widget, and the outbound call services are not covered by the unlimited plan, okay? Now, anything that's not on the unlimited plan for AI Employee is going to be token-based, okay? Now, this is one of those things you kind of have to wrap your head around when it comes to tokens, token usage, and things like that. I'm going to try to just give you some very basics to help you at least understand your pricing models here. But let's just do the conversation AI. If you're doing these, this right here, again, if you're doing the pay-as-you-use going, if you're doing conversation AI, unlimited, you don't need to worry about any of these, okay? But if you're doing the conversation AI pay-as-you-go model, meaning you do not select the unlimited AI and you have the AI features turned on for that sub-account, they will do pay-as-you-go. So if they use the services, they will be, your agency will be charged these services for the amount of tokens that they use. Now, keep this in mind. When you're using all of these tokens, you see $1.25, try to blow this up, input price for 1 million tokens, 1M tokens, okay? And here's your, again, for inbound and outbound pricing for like stuff that prompts that you give ChatGPT, like it has to interpret all the stuff that you put in for the prompt for it to generate stuff, and then for the outbound stuff that it generates back to you. So there's 2 separate token costs, inbound and outbound. Hopefully you got that. Now, let's understand how tokens are used, just to kind of give you an idea. Now I have to go to another tab. So this is a help article with inside of OpenAI that kind of at least helps you out. 1 token is about 4 characters, or 1 token could be about 3/4 of a word. This is where those little tilde signs, like approximately. So great. So it's almost approximately. So you don't know 100% for sure. You just know about. So roughly 100 tokens are going to be used for 75 words. Here's the different tokens. If you have a paragraph, that's going to be 100 tokens and so forth. So based upon what you put in and based upon what you get out, if you're generating that 52 email sequence that we talked about, and you're using ChatGPT to do that, then that's going to have a lot of output. And that could cost you, let's just say, 5 million tokens. I'm just throwing out a number here. If it's 5 million tokens and you're doing a pay-as-you-go plan, then you're doing outbound. So 1 million tokens for outbound, that's going to be $50. You have to generate that stuff using AI. Does that make sense? So just keep that in mind. That's why if you're doing the conversation AI type things, it's better to go with the unlimited AI to include all of those services here. Okay? So again, I'm going to put this in the video just so you got quick access to this. Here's all the voice AI pricing that you get. And here, if you do want to use, besides OpenAI, if you want to use Claude or Gemini, for any of the stuff, there's different token and different costs for different models and different execution models that you want to use. So this right here, again, just take a quick look. But when you're dealing with tokens, you just have to be careful about when you use them, executing them, because right now, the other things like the Agent Studio, the Voice AI widget, those, as far as I know, don't have any possibility of being enrolled into a token-based plan. As a matter of fact, I'm really surprised that HighLevel even kept going with the unlimited AI employee plan for $97. Now they do have it up here. Please be careful. It's in the red, the fair usage policy. If there's extreme load, if you truly sit back and are using this thing like crazy, then they can't charge you more. Now, I don't know of any rules regarding that I can give you, but this right here is just a great way to help understand the pricing. But if you're not going to be using Agent Studio, if you're not necessarily going to be using the agent voice, the voice AI widget, if you're going to be using like the live chat widget or just SMS or the other type of chat widgets, then you don't need to worry about that. And if you're not doing outbound calling, then literally all the other AI stuff that I talked about here is going to be wrapped into the $97 unlimited AI employee total package. And that right there should take care of everything that you need. Now, I always get this that yes, it is another $97, but it's a lot of additional services that you're getting for honestly not that much price. For unlimited calls, unlimited responses to all the channels, $97 is not much at all. Now, I will say this, if you're going to be using this to sell AI services to clients through HighLevel, please, again, I'm asking, pretty please with sugar on top. Please include the $97 in your subscription package. Don't nickel and dime them. Don't say I'm going to charge you $400 and then there's another $97 for this and then there's going to be some more money for this. Just make it like, put it like $500 or something like that, or whatever your price is, but include the $97 unlimited AI in there because you as the agency are going to be charged anyway. And if you're at the agency pro level, you can actually configure the AI employee to be a part of the deployment whenever somebody buys that particular package for you. You can actually configure the SaaS configurator to put that in there by default. You can have them put WordPress, you can have them put WhatsApp, all that stuff in your packaging by default. So just, that's my suggestion for this, but I know this was a lot. Hopefully you hung in there with me, but if you did learn something, smash that like button, leave me a comment. If you have any questions, I'll definitely will get back to you with stuff, but just take a look because the tokens can add up again, if you're generating stuff, which is why if you're going to be using, like myself, I use ChatGPT for the most part almost on a daily basis, except maybe the weekends. So I just pay for ChatGPT outright. I don't necessarily want to use ChatGPT through HighLevel because I know that has a higher level cost. So if I'm going to be using it, if you're going to be using it to do things like generate your email sequences or giving you other ideas and it has a large output, just spend $20 or something like that on the OpenAI plan and just pay $20 and just get unlimited usage for ChatGPT because you can use that ChatGPT to leverage and help you build better prompts inside of here with both voice AI, conversation AI, and all the other pieces that we talked about here. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me. I know it was a long video, but hopefully you learned something. Have a great day. Bye-bye.